All right, Reds, welcome back to United Talks podcast. And this is your go to source for all Manchester United, all things Manchester United, be it transfer news, match reviews, previews, and player ratings, and a lot, including transfers. Now, we're diving deep into this transfer market today as another target has been identified, and the window is heating up. Ruben Amorim is looking to stamp his authority on the squad, and there's one name that's really starting to buzz around Old Trafford, and that is, from reports, maybe albeit not so reliable, but just doing a deep dive and seeing like a lot of reports about it, and as in the last 24 to 48 hours, is Lucien Agoumé. He's a French international, 22-year-old player who plays for Sevilla. Now, we've got some crucial, stuff to talk about when it comes to him. You've heard the whispers, you've seen the headlines, and now we're going to break it down exactly why Sevilla's midfield powerhouse Lucien Agoumé could be a missing piece in Ruben Amorim's Manchester United puzzle. And is he the answer to our midfield woes? I mean, we've had some challenges in midfield the past couple of weeks and even in the last year. So let's get into it. Now, who exactly is Lucien Agoumé? I just heard the name for the first time, and then I did a bit of research. I didn't try as much as possible to watch videos to come and tell you, oh, he's such an amazing player, he's this, is that. I did research, saw the stats, saw the data, and then after I've given you this breakdown, then I can now go and watch the videos and then talk about whether the eye test meets the stats that we've seen. So, who exactly is Lucien Agoumé? I even had to go learn how to pronounce his name. He's a 23-year-old French international defensive midfielder, also holding a Cameroonian citizenship. What's it with Man United and Cameroonians? But it is what it is. He's standing at 6'2", and this isn't just some raw talent fresh out of an academy. Agoumé has been on the radar for a while. He made his professional debut for Successor in League 2 back in October 2018, and he at just 16 years, showing incredible composure for his age. Now, his potential was quickly spotted by Inter Milan, who signed him in 2019. While he didn't quite break through there, he gained invaluable experience through loan spells at Spezia in Serie A, and then Brest, and then Troyes in Ligue 1. In Ligue 1, Troyes, there's a link. Brian Mbeumo, Cameroon. This is what it is. So let's get to it. Let's keep going. Now, this exposure to different leagues and tactical demands at a very young age is huge. It's a huge plus for him. Now, his big moment came in January 2024 when he joined Sevilla on loan, and he impressed so much that they activated his permanent transfer option for a reported 4 million euros in August 2024. In his debut in 24-25 season with Sevilla, he became the regular starter, making around 35 appearances, even bagging his first goal for the club and chipping in with 3 assists. He also captained the French under-17 side, leading them to the 3rd place finish in both the European Championship and the under-17 World Cup, which speaks volumes about his leadership qualities. Now, let's talk about numbers. His market value is around 7.8 million euros, but Man United are looking at putting a bid for 23 million euros, as that is what Sevilla are valuing him at. But here's the kicker. He has a release clause of 35 million pounds, or roughly 40 million euros. Reports suggest that United are trying to negotiate a lower fee, somewhere between 22 to 26 million pounds. This tells you that Sevilla rates him highly, but United are looking for value, seeing as we've missed out on trying to get Carlos Baleba. So, what kind of player is Lucien Agoumé on the pitch? He is primarily a defensive midfielder or a DM, but his versatility means that he can comfortably operate as a central midfielder or even a box-to-box role. Think of him as a pure 6. I mean, who can sit deep and protect the defense or screen the defense, or a hybrid 6 and 8 or 6 or 8, who can actually complement more creative players like Bruno Fernandes and dynamic ball carriers like Kobe Menu or even Brian Bumo or Mateus Cunha. You know, his strengths are exactly what we've been crying out for as a Man United team. First off, physicality, and then athleticism, which is what Ruben Amorim seeks in defensive midfielder or a midfielder, as the case may be. At 6'2", he's got a commanding presence. He's described as quick across the ground and brings the physicality and athleticism that's essential for the Premier League. Now, there is also the exceptional defensive prowess, and this guy is a ball-winning machine. Like he excels in tackling and interceptions, averaging around 4.373 tackles plus interceptions per 90 in the La Liga last season, putting him in the top 2% of midfielders for that metric. To put it into perspective, he averages 3.0 tackles and 1.8 interceptions per 90, outperforming Carlos Baleba and even Casemiro in these key defensive stats. He's also strong in the air, winning 1.66 air duels per 90 and 61.97% success rate. And he boasts a 61.88 success rate in ground duels. He's tactically aware, composed under pressure, a first phase connector who rarely gets dispossessed despite inviting pressure. I just saw, like I said, I didn't want to, have any bit of a bias. I wanted to just keep an open mind. So I went and looked at while I was scrolling and searching about him, I saw a clip of him where he was, holding the ball and looking up and playing some through passes and all of that. Now, he's giving us that, and because I know somebody did some revisionism and talked about how we sold an archetype of a player in Carlos Baleba as we sold Scott McTominay. And now, in truth, you could see some of the plays Scott McTominay could add, some of the things that Scott McTominay could add to the team. But if you look at it from the perspective of how Man United fans did not like Scott McTominay and how they kind of said, he doesn't bring anything to the team. Now you look at a player like this and you start to talk, start to compare, start to bring stats and all that. Scott McTominay had an amazing season last season at Napoli, but I digress. Let's come back. Now, he's not just a destroyer. Agoumé is he's very excellent at ball carrying and ball progression and distribution. He's a reliable progressive passer from deep, averaging 5.88 progressive passes per 90, which is higher than Baleba's. He also makes more forward passes per 90 than both Baleba and Ugarte, and he's got vision to execute 60-yard switches of play and line-breaking passes, effectively linking defense to attack. And while he might attempt fewer take-ons than some, his success rate is significantly higher at 75.86% compared to Baleba's 62.26%. This shows that he is effective and efficient. His work rate and mentality has even drawn comparisons to N'Golo Kanté for his defensive instincts and Paul Pogba. As I saw him, I thought about Paul Pogba and also another player like Aurelien Tchouameni for his size and passing range. He's described as fearless in duels and unafraid to get stuck in, possessing that still stamina, winning mentality, which we desperately need. Now, no player is perfect. His direct offensive output is relatively low, right? With just 1 goal in 3 assists in 35 La Liga games last season. He's a defensive midfielder, so I don't expect him to score so many goals. He's also committed more fouls per tackle attempt than Baleba, which is something to watch in the Premier League. His pass completion rate, while solid, is slightly lower than some peers. These are minor points when you look at the overall package, and I'm sure the Man United data team have also looked at it and they can tell. And this is where it gets really interesting. Man United needs him under Amorim, and why Man United need him under Amorim, and how does he tactically fit the profile of player that Man United is looking at. This is where it gets really interesting for United fans. Under Amorim, we are seeing a significant tactical overhaul. Amorim wants to be more aggressive, brave, and better in 1v1 situations. And he always talks about 1 against 1. This is how he puts it, 1 against 1. While also improving ball quality in build-up and reducing turnovers. This demands a specific type of midfielder. Now, Amorim's system is a 1-3-4-3 in build-up. It's often a 1-3-4-3 in build-up, as we all know, which which also needs a deep line playmaker or deep line midfielder who is not just defensively solid but also excellent at progressing the ball under pressure. And this is a critical void in our current squad. We have persistent issues that, issues like the empty midfield problem, where there's too much space between the defense and the midfield. We saw a few of it in the Arsenal game, and I think Casemiro tried to cover that space, but he's not got the same legs as he used to when he was 25, 26. Now, there are concerns about the current midfielders like Manuel Ugarte, and then with regards to this too much space in defensive midfield, it makes us more vulnerable when there's counter-attack. So, like I said, there are concerns that Manuel Ugarte, current midfielders like Manuel Ugarte, who is currently a 6'5", and Kobe Menu is currently a 6.5, and Kobe Menu, who is more of an 8, can't consistently partner as a pivot against top oppositions. So we lack a true number 6, right? So, now, let's be honest. While Casemiro is a legend, he's approaching 34, and his struggles in possession have been noted. Now, we need a long-term successor who also, struggled in transition. We also struggled in transition last season, and we've been criticized for lacking someone who is comfortable dictating play. Someone like with a pauser like Christian Eriksen, but Christian Eriksen when it comes to dictating play, and then a strong defensive midfielder who kind of holds his own as a true number 6. This is where Agoumé steps in, basically. Agoumé steps in, and he's exceptional because he has exceptional tackling, interceptions, and error ability, which makes him an ideal candidate. For Man United, trying to get my words out. Now, this makes him an ideal candidate for what Ruben Amorim wants with regards to, dictating play and someone with La Pausa, like if we can call it that way. Now, because of his exceptional tackling, his interceptions, his air ability, it makes him an ideal candidate to screen Amorim's 3-man defense, and it provides the crucial defensive security. Now, that allows our more creative players like Bruno Fernandes to push higher, and his defensive his physicality and athleticism perfectly matches Amorim's desire for more pace and dynamism. Now, as a first phase connector who is comfortable at receiving the ball under pressure, we have one like that in Kobe Menu, and then progressing it, he is vital for Amorim's emphasis on quality, build-up, and reducing lost balls in dangerous areas. Agoume's capacity to make line-breaking passes and to drive the team forward directly addresses United's previous struggles in transitioning from defense to attack. His presence would also reduce the burden on defenders and allow for smoother transitions. He also definitely improves our defense. Improves us against the rest defense against like quick transitions, which is a key part of Amorim's philosophy. Now, he can also effectively serve as the pure 6 or anchor man that our midfield reportedly lacks, allowing Menu to play in a more natural advanced role, as Ruben Amorim has said time and again, and he's explicitly identified as a potential long-term replacement for Casemiro, right? Now, his reactive and composed covering style pairs well with ball winners like Casemiro and Ugarte. And crucially, his defensive contributions and ability to progress the ball from deep would grant Captain Bruno Magnifico Fernandes the freedom to fully maximize his creative qualities and bring out the best in our new attackers in Matheus Cunha, Bryan Mbeumo, and Benjamin Sesko. Now, with regards to transfer market context and financial considerations, let's talk about money. Let's talk about how United intends to spend this summer. Man United have spent around 200 million in the summer for a new attacking trio. The priority now is midfield. Carlos Baleba was our top target, but Brighton's asking price was in excess of 100 million pounds, made that deal off the table, right? And then we're looking to get him next summer. Now, this is where Agoume comes in as a significantly cheaper option and a bargain midfield upgrade. Despite being more affordable, Agoume actually outperforms Baleba defensively in key metrics like interceptions, tackles, and error doors won, and also registers more progressive passes per game. That is for Agoume versus Carlos Baleba. You can think about it from this perspective. I mean, Scocker dropped some stats about an hour ago about the whole Agoume and Agoume versus Carlos Baleba, and you can see that in the stats, passing accuracy 87.92 for Carlos Baleba versus passing accuracy for Agoume, which is not too far, 82.69, right? 82.69. And then forward passes, that's for the league last season, right? Forward passes, Carlos Baleba has 10, Agoume has 19. Tackles made, Carlos Baleba has 2.7%. And 2.7 average, and then tackles made for Agoume is 3. Error duel success 59.09 for Carlos Baleba, and then Agoume has 50. So duels won 6.8 per 90. Duels won for Agoume is 6. Ground duels success is 54.61, and ground duel success for Agoume is 55.08. So they kind of balance each other out, and Agoume has more, like, when you come to clearances, interceptions, he's better than Carlos Baleba, but ball recoveries, Carlos Baleba has 6.7, he has 5.8, Agoume. So these are the stats that we're looking at, and I'm sure the data guys at Man United will actually see this, so like I said, despite being more affordable, Agoume actually outperforms Baleba defensively in key metrics like interceptions, tackles, and error duels, and also registers more progressive passes per game. This isn't just compromise, it's a smart data-backed move. So that's why I said I had to go and look at the data first. I didn't want a situation where I'll just go and watch videos and become biased about it. So it signals a shift in United's transfer philosophy towards disciplined, value-oriented recruitment under Ruben Amorim and the new INEOS structure. Now, we could talk on and on about this, but I just had to give a quick player profile of this player so that we can know where this is coming from and how Manchester United are interested in getting such a player like that. So Lucien Agoumé actually represents a highly promising and tactically astute acquisition for Manchester United. His blend of physicality, defensive solidity, and progressive passing aligns perfectly with Ruben Amorim's vision, and he's a timely solution for our midfield deficiencies. I mean, we just sent Toby Collier on loan to Brighton, West Bromwich Albion. Yeah, addressing. So basically, with our deficiencies, Agoume addresses the need for a true 6 and a long-term successor for Casemiro. While adapting to the Premier League intensity might take him time, his experience and leadership qualities suggest that he is ready. He's ready for the challenge. And this isn't just a transfer, it is a strategic move that could fundamentally elevate our midfield and tactical coherence. Now, what do you guys think about this whole Agoume thing? Is Agoume the midfielder we need? Let us know in the comment section. And don't forget to also like this video if you liked what I did for you just now. And subscribe to United Talks podcast so you don't have to miss anything as relates to Manchester United, especially for more in-depth analysis and for all the other things surrounding Manchester United transfers and games and in-game analysis as well. Hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss our next episode. Until next time, come on, you Reds. Let's be positive about the season. Let's stop blaming players and focus on the progress and the process that Amorim has brought to this team. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you haven't already, please do like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything as it relates to Manchester United. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, goodbye, and God bless.